Hey, what's poppin', people? Once again, your Wednesday fix of Truly Inconsequential, where not all characters are created equal. So if you guys are unfamiliar, Mr. Greer and old Brim here of the Grindhouse Radio, if you're not familiar. What do you call it? We debate this week zeros in front of you, a live audience. What do you call it? It'll be determined in real time who will remain inconsequential and who may be liberated back into the heroes category. Now, this week, we are going to be debating boobs against a boob. So, what do you call it? This is with Jessica Rabbit from Who Framed Roger Rabbit, as well as Doug Billings from The Hangover. Now, the question is, do you think that Jessica is really that bad, or was she just drawn that way? And should Doug have just died on the roof of that hotel? That's the question.
A little rough. Whether or not he's consequential or not, we're wishing death upon people.
It's a character, Greer.
It is a character.
It's a character. Nobody really cares.
I don't know if this really helps his case, but I didn't even know what Doug's last name was.
It doesn't help the case. It doesn't help the case, and that is half the reason why I am going to be voting the direction I'm voting.
Yeah,
first
we'll see where we go. So everybody, welcome to Truly Inconsequential. Thank you for hopping in, all the viewers. Thank you for being here. If you want, hop in the chat. Get the conversation going. We need you guys to help us decide. We'll pick if we need to, but we like to have you guys help decide who we're
going to debate.
We're going to be debating first. Because like we always say, your fan participation is the most important thing to Truly Inconsequential, because these characters aren't just for us. Like, the characters are put out into the ether for all of you people. You know, for us, you guys. So I know you all have some pretty hot opinions on some of this stuff. So so let us know what you think.
So we'll get started in just a couple minutes in terms of debating. But anybody who's in the chat, if you guys want to drop in there who you'd like us to start with, whether it's Jessica Rabbit or Doug, that's up to you. If not, we'll figure it out ourselves. And
as always, you can find us on, like I said, if you're watching on Facebook, you can catch us on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube. You can catch us on all those streaming platforms. We're going to stream on all of them until one of them says, hey, we'll pay you to not stream on all the other ones. When that happens, we'll just pick one. But until then, we're going to be on all of them. And, drop your comments, drop your likes, share the streams, because, it's a lot of fun, and we want to continue doing this, and it's a lot more fun when there are a lot more people in here. Of
course. And again, I'm sorry for my sneezing fit. It is allergy season.
Yes.
And the allergies are god-awful right now.
Yes.
So I am going to pop an allergy pill. So I don't want anybody getting the wrong idea.
You hide that brand. We don't promote any allergy pills unless they're willing to pay. I got allergies too.
Do you?
Yeah, I got seasonal allergies. It's rough.
Well,
I'm allergic to outside.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you like to go outside quite often.
I love to go outside quite often, so I have to take my allergy medicine.
It is pretty bad. You got it rough, man. Allergies, lactose, lactose intolerance.
Yep. It's rough. Actually, don't have that at all.
I'm just messing around. Well, we're going to be talking about boobs, so, anything erect might be a positive.
Earplug says Boob lost. Boob loses. He wasn't needed really for the story. Meh. Jessica was important to Roger's story. Plus, she had boobs. Boobs win. LMAO. I guess that's a fair statement. But Earplug doesn't tell us who we should start with. You just gave us your argument.
Yeah, you need to tell us who you want to start with
who should we
before we even start
kick
arguing.
The show off with.
I mean, I guess what we should do.
Should we do ladies first?
We could, but since he was talking about the boob losing, we should probably start with Doug first. Okay. I mean, that would only be the fair thing, simply because what I mean. I think that.
Start with
Jessica. People know a little bit more.
Yes,
you know what I mean. People know Jessica Rabbit, but here's the lead into this. Nobody really knows who the hell Doug is. You know what I mean?
Okay,
Doug from The Hangover, in my mind, is truly inconsequential.
Well, okay. Now, why do you think he's truly inconsequential?
First of all, as we started the show, Doug Billings is his last name. Okay,
yes.
Billings. Nobody knows that. Who the hell knows that? You don't know it because he's inconsequential. The fact of the matter is he's like the smallest tiny part, the tiniest fraction of the film in itself, and the reason why he's there is simply to kick it off. Where, all right, well, they're all getting together because it's his wedding, but it's not even because of him. It's his sister's brother is the what's his face is right
Galifianakis.
Yeah, Galifianakis, and what do you call it? And the other guys are I guess friends of Doug's.
They're Doug's friends.
But Doug is not. He's gone throughout there. What So they're looking for him. Who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares?
I
Miss Tom is happy that Mr. Tom doesn't have that D issue. Wow.
Okay. No, okay. So zooming back to the actual conversation. But you see, the problem I have with all of this is because I understand what you're saying, where Doug's not in the movie very much. You really don't. Like I said, I didn't know his last name, but without Doug and without the wedding, there's no Hangover. They don't have to go to Vegas. They're not partying in Vegas. Zach Galifianakis doesn't drug all the friends because Doug doesn't bring him on the bachelor party.
Okay.
You know, the only reason that any of them know Zach Galifianakis' character is because Doug and Doug's fiance or wife or soon-to-be wife at the time.
So basically what you're saying is Doug screwed up their entire lives because he's an idiot and he's inconsequential and he shouldn't have been there to begin with.
But it's not but he's very consequential because without Doug as being part of the story, the movie doesn't happen. Doug's so consequential that if it wasn't for Doug, there's no sequels because The Hangover doesn't happen without him.
No, The Hangover 2 and 3, if there is a 3.
But you need a 1.
Listen,
you need a 1. There can't be a 2 or 3 without a 1.
Listen, they could have done anything. They could have still had these guys going out. I guess they
could have, but they didn't. The story is they go out for their friend's bachelor party, lose their friend at the bachelor party, and spend the rest of the movie trying to find said friend that they lost. Without the friend that they're trying to find, there's no movie. What are they doing?
Listen, I understand what you're saying. I can appreciate what you're saying, but he brings no value to the film itself. You know what I'm saying?
He's the whole crux of the film. The whole object of the film is to find Doug.
No, but I understand that.
That's the movie.
So I understand that, but throughout the film, there is no reason to have him around. So the fact of the matter is that yes, it could be his wedding. Yes, all the guys are going out on a with him to celebrate his bachelor party. But Doug could have been like, all right, well, I'm gonna dip for now, and these guys would still be together. It's you know what I mean, and they would have still got into the same trouble because what's his face Galifianakis still would have freaking drugged them all, and they still would have done everything. Doug wasn't there for any of that.
But Zach Galifianakis wouldn't have known the other guys because the only tie Zach Galifianakis his character Alan's character had to the group of friends was Doug. If Doug doesn't exist, Alan, who is Zach Galifianakis, doesn't meet those guys, and we don't have anything. Nothing happens.
But what I said, Tyson was more important than Doug. Tiger trumps Doug. LOL. I agree. Okay, here now, and I just said, they still could have had the wedding. Doug still could have went with them to Vegas to do but instead of him getting kidnapped or whatever the hell he was happening with Doug, he could have just passed out in a hotel room.
Yeah,
and they still would have gotten into the same amount of trouble.
But the whole movie isn't them just getting messed up and going about their crazy escapades in Vegas. The whole point of the movie is we go on this this bachelor party. Okay. We lost our friend.
Okay.
And we have to find him. So the only reason that they're recounting all of the stuff that happened the night before is because they're trying to remember because they were all completely drugged up on roofies to find out where their friend is. That's the whole point. That's the whole point of the movie. The entire point of the movie is to find Doug. And if you take Doug out, there's no point in the movie. They're just there to get messed up. We're basically just watching an episode of The Jersey Shore. We're doing.
This is but Tom, you know what I mean? It's like yes, I can give you the fact that it was without him.
That's like
there
saying,
is no
that's,
real
that's
that is
like
the whole curve of the movie. But he wasn't important
to tie the back
nobody
into
cares.
The
Nobody even cares.
To tie back into the movie. To tie into the next character we're doing, taking out Doug is like saying Roger Rabbit doesn't mean anything to Who Framed Roger Rabbit. The whole point of the movie is Who Framed Roger Rabbit. The whole point of The Hangover is to find out where Doug went.
But the whole point of Roger Rabbit is Roger Rabbit's in throughout the entire movie. Roger Rabbit's there.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is the whole
Jessica
point of the movie,
Rabbit is actually there.
The whole point of the movie
all
is
three
to find
pieces
out
of her.
Who framed Roger Rabbit. The whole point of The Hangover is to find out what the hell happened to Doug. That's the whole point of the movie.
I don't know. I can appreciate what you're saying in terms of all right, well, that's the whole movie. But I mean, he's in such a small part of it that Doug could have been anybody. He himself was not like important. You know what I mean? Every other character, there was a charm, there was something special about each character. They were all quirky characters. Doug was some regular guy that nobody cared about.
Well, it
could have been Joe anybody. He did not add anything to the rest of the movie. I'm going to change my angle and say that maybe he was important to the movie, but his character itself was not important to the movie.
But if you take his character out of the movie, there's no the movie has no plot.
Okay, so maybe it was Fred. Maybe Fred took his friends out, and Fred got. You know what I'm saying?
And
Fred still wouldn't have been consequential to the rest of the movie. Him personally, within the movie, I understand, but he's just.
I understand.
Look, and I know you're only fighting with me on this just to have an opposite.
But in all reality, look, I understand. Like of all the characters, he's the most bland character of the whole thing because everybody else is what's his name? I forgot Ed Helms' character. He's hilarious. He's that like super prim and proper crazy like doctor. I don't remember if he's a dentist or something like that. He's a dentist. Who's the other guy? Not Zach Galifianakis, not Ed Helms. Oh my God,
Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Cooper's character is the pretty boy, like funny, he's the guy who played Rocket Raccoon. He's the pretty boy, funny guy. And then Zach Galifianakis is just the absolute lunatic dope. They all are more significant to the story than Doug, but Doug is important because he's the whole thing the movie's based on. The whole movie is based about Doug getting married and them trying to find Doug. That's the whole point of The Hangover.
Here, Herb, Roger Rabbit is in the title. Let's Find Doug was not the name of the movie. I agree. Doug was meh. Doug could have been anyone. Roger's still Roger the Rabbit. See, I agree.
But Herb,
that's the thing.
But without Doug, what is The Hangover? Without Doug, what is that? It's nothing.
It's still The Hangover.
But it's not though because
it's not. Let's go find Doug. All right, The Hangover. The whole premise, technically, if we want to get technical, is that it was The Hangover. They all had a hangover from the roofies. So everything that happened, Doug was with them at the beginning, but after they were drugged, that's technically what the movie's about. What happened after they were drugged?
Yeah, because they have to find their friend that's lost. The friend that they lost is why they're trying to recount everything that happened when they were messed up. If there's no Doug, Alan doesn't meet the crew, and the crew doesn't even go to Vegas. Without Doug, there's no reason to go to Vegas.
The baby was more crucial to the movie than Doug was.
But replacing Doug with anyone doesn't mean anything because it's just like that. He's the whole point of the movie. Okay, let's make Doug Frank. If you replace Doug with a Frank's still consequential because the whole point of the movie is to find the human being. But that's the whole point of The Hangover. That's the entire premise of the movie.
And it was Waldo, it would be called Where's Waldo? But Waldo is consequential to Where's Waldo because it actually says it in the title. It could be anybody.
That's what I'm saying. It could be
the character itself.
The character itself is consequential. The character of Doug is consequential. You could change his name to anything you want, but the character itself is consequential because that's the whole premise of the movie. The whole premise of the movie is everybody goes out for this dude's bachelor party, gets messed up,
right?
He gets lost, and they have to find him to get him back for the wedding.
But they could be looking for anybody. That's what I'm saying. Anybody. He's consequential to the quote unquote storyline,
to the whole story,
but his character itself is inconsequential throughout the story.
But if you take him out of it, the movie doesn't exist. That's what I don't understand.
No, because again, it could be anybody. If anybody is that character, anybody could be. You could be getting married, okay? We take you out to Vegas. All of a sudden, Tom gets lost, all right? And then the story is about, Brim, Guy, and Kevin, looking for Greer. You know what I mean? But Greer wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? Greer, unfortunately, is inconsequential in that situation. We might be looking for you, but the story is about the characters that are going off looking.
They're going off looking, but the characters wouldn't be going off looking if it wasn't for the character that they have to find.
I don't know. You can't replace Jessica Rabbit.
We'll get there.
I disagree with you wholeheartedly on this. I wouldn't. I'm completely against that. I think he's inconsequential. You're not going to bust consequential.
Because what I'm just saying is like,
what do you guys think?
If you take him out of the movie, you have no movie. Like, if you take him out of the movie, you live the whole plot. I get it. Change Doug's name to Frank. Change him to Harold.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. That's great. The character itself is still consequential.
But then they should have said,
don't have a movie.
They should have said, "Where's Harold at?" You know what I'm saying?
But The Hangover sounds like a better title for the movie.
I get it, but The Hangover, if you're going by the title, it's during the actual Hangover. What happened to the characters who were consequential throughout that Hangover?
But if you pull that character of Doug out, those characters don't connect. Those characters don't go on this escapade.
So if they started the movie after they were drugged, and you didn't know who Doug was at the beginning, wouldn't the whole and they were just talking about Doug? Doug's still inconsequential.
But that's changing the whole plot of the movie.
It's the same thing.
The whole plot of the movie is Doug takes them all out. The movie starts out with Doug taking them all to Vegas.
Okay.
They get messed up, lose Doug. The whole like we keep saying, the whole concept of the movie is to find him.
Yes.
Finding Doug. It is basically a gigantic Where's Waldo movie, and it's just Doug. Without Doug, there is no movie. That's the thing. Without Doug, there's no plot. They don't have a reason. They don't have even a reason to be in Vegas.
So let me ask you a question: if the three of them knew each other and they were looking for a monkey
in
the middle of Vegas,
can I curse?
Yeah.
And if my aunt had a dick, she'd be my uncle. Like, you can't play ifs. You have to play the actual movie. What the actual scene that's in
and what
front
I'm
of
saying
us.
is, in the movie, if you guys agree with one of us, please drop it in the comments.
They clearly agree with you.
Well, that's because I'm right.
You're not right. You're so wrong.
But what do you call it? I mean, clearly I'm correct on this one. I mean, but here it is again. If you,
because it's not about rewrite. Because I think
you can
it's not
replace Doug. Doug, the character itself, made no difference. It could be Doug. It could be Frank. It could be this. So in terms of the fact that yes, they are searching for him, but the character itself, he made no dent whatsoever. Nobody would. I guarantee you, if we just said Doug from what do you call it, from The Hangover, nobody would know who he was.
And I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. I believe that.
I don't know, man.
I believe that, but I believe that because The Hangover itself was such a monumental and funny, like the first one. The first one was amazing.
Okay.
The other ones were, they were okay. The first one was amazing. I think people would remember Doug because, like I said, that's the whole premise of the movie. They mention Doug throughout the whole movie because that's who they're trying to find. That's the whole, like I said, that's the whole crux of the movie, everybody. I'm not talking about rewriting it about like, oh, Alan and the other two, I can't remember the other two guys' names. Alan and the other two guys meet up and go to Vegas. Like, okay, if that were the movie, if that was the whole movie, that those three just went to Vegas,
right?
Yeah, he's inconsequential. But the fact that the whole movie is based on them going to Vegas for his bachelor party, then lose him, and spend the whole movie trying to find him, makes him consequential because taking him out means you have no movie. You have no movie. That's he's the whole plot point of the movie is to find their friend that they lost in Vegas and get him back to the wedding in time.
Okay, the whole plot point of the movie, but all right. Okay, hold on one second. So the whole plot point of, let's say, X, Y, and Z is to find the lost city. Is that city consequential?
Yeah.
Oh?
If the whole plot of the movie is to
What's
find
more consequential?
Atlantis,
the character that they're following throughout the entire thing, or the city itself? Who cares?
What do you mean?
It's you're following the characters throughout a movie. So the what do you call it?
But if you take him out, that's what I'm saying. If you take him out, there is no movie because they don't have a purpose. Without them, they don't have. Without that, they don't have a purpose.
I can't go back on this one. So are we like at a standstill?
We are at a standstill currently until we get to the next set.
This is the first time we've had a standstill.
Yeah, it is because I just that's the thing. I can't get over it because that's what I'm saying. You're giving if you take Doug out,
right?
You're giving these other three characters 0 point to being there.
Yeah, but again,
you know why the only reason that they took the roofies to begin with was because they were all standing on the roof, all doing shots. I think they were going to do ecstasy to celebrate, to have one final celebration of being, bachelors or of Doug being a bachelor. They're having one final hurrah of a party. They do the shots. Everybody blacks out, goes nuts. They lose Doug, and then boom, we have to find Doug. That's the whole crux of the movie, whole point of the movie.
I get it, but again, Doug was so minimal in the entire film that it does not make a difference if it was Doug or anybody else. Doug is what brought them together.
But saying he's inconsequential,
Doug is what brought them together, and again, and I understand that, but throughout the entire film, it's not. Yeah, they're looking for Doug. That's like the goal, quote unquote, goal of the movie. but the characters are working together, whether Doug was there or not. They're working together and they're trying to figure it out.
Why are they? Yes, they're working together. They're working together and trying to figure out. What are they working together to try to figure out?
To try to figure out what they did the night before.
Why though? Why are they trying to figure out what?
But hold on, what they did the night before.
Why though?
Because of one of their people was missing.
One of their people. Who is the person though?
Doesn't make a difference.
But who's the person?
I don't know his name.
Just say the name.
I don't know his name.
Just say the name. Well, you knew the last name before I did, so just say the name.
Google is a wonderful thing.
Say the name.
Listen, let me tell you,
Doug. The reason they got all together was trying to figure out what they did the night before was to find out where Doug went.
I'm not conceding.
Truly consequential means if the character itself means nothing. If you took the character out of the movie, the movie still exists. Taking Doug out of the movie doesn't exist anymore.
I don't see, but that's the thing. I think that it does.
They're not in Vegas without him. They do not go to Vegas and party without Doug. The whole reason they took all the drugs.
They could have.
They could have. And again, I'll say it. If my aunt had a dick, she'd be my uncle.
But if she okay.
You know, like you can't play the what ifs. You can only play what you have sitting in front of you. What you have sitting in front of you is a group of friends going to Vegas to celebrate their friend's wedding, to celebrate a friend's bachelor party. If the friend who's getting married doesn't exist, there's no reason to go to Vegas for a bachelor party because no one's getting married.
Okay, but if it was Fred or Jack or Jimmy or
they're still consequential.
Jones.
The character is still consequential.
Here, let's see. It doesn't make a difference. He's just a person. Doug, Jack, or Bob, it doesn't matter. There's only one Jessica Rabbit. Yeah.
Guess what? Are we going to go to Jessica Rabbit?
Yeah, we got it because we have 10 minutes.
Guess what? Jessica Rabbit to Who Framed Roger Rabbit, totally inconsequential. All she is, she's the character in the movie that makes you wonder, wow, as a kid, makes you wonder, wow, am I really attracted to a cartoon? That is literally it. That is literally it. She got people hooked on cartoon porn. That's what
true.
Jessica Rabbit did. That was her only addition to the movie.
I will agree with you on that. Jessica Rabbit was pretty much eye candy, and that's pretty much all.
That's all she did. If you take her out of the movie, yeah, it sucks because she was a nice cartoon character to look at. But if you take her out of the movie, doesn't do anything to the movie. Still a great movie. There's plenty of other characters in there that make it fun.
Yeah, Jessica Rabbit made it. But here's the thing: in pop culture, Jessica Rabbit is consequential.
We're not asking.
No. I'm with you on in the movie.
Yeah,
I am with you about in the movie. If you took her out, it wouldn't make a difference. Okay, but they play patty cake together. What do you call it? Don't insult animation, Tom.
I'm not insulting animation. I love animation. That movie's amazing. I wish they would be able to do a second one, but that'll never happen. I love Who Framed Roger Rabbit. But if we're pitting the two characters against each other in terms of actual and meaning to a movie, Jessica Rabbit's inconsequential. She doesn't mean as much.
No. Hold on a minute now. I still don't believe that Doug is consequential. So this is gonna be a big one because we're gonna have to toss a coin or something. Because I cannot get with the fact that Doug is consequential. And again, in terms of pop culture itself, nobody knows Doug. They don't care who Doug is. But at Jessica Rabbit, everybody knows them tatas. I gotta say, I never had a thing for redheads, but Jessica Rabbit, that's a hot broad, man.
All the characters you both talk about are pop culture. Yes, they're both pop culture. But I'm talking in terms of Who Framed Roger Rabbit, the movie. Because that's really all Jessica Rabbit's big from is Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
She's huge, but yes, you are talking pop culture. She is important. She's important in terms of pop culture. In terms of pop culture in general, she's very, very important. But in terms of the movie in Roger Rabbit, no, you could have taken her out, and then we wouldn't have had that importance of her in pop culture.
Well, because I would also argue that if you're just talking about the scope of pop culture, I think Jessica Rabbit's more important than anybody from The Hangover because I think she's more well known.
Sure,
I think she's more well known as a character than anybody from The Hangover. Maybe Zach Galifianakis because he's really funny. Again, Bradley Cooper himself is consequential, but of the characters themselves,
the actual characters,
yes. Jessica Rabbit supersedes
then she wins.
The rest. She beats everybody.
Yes,
but if we're talking if we're just comparing the two movies, because I feel like it's unfair.
Even in the movie, Jessica Rabbit had more screen time than Doug.
But that doesn't make
Jessica
her important,
Rabbit.
though.
No, come on now.
If you take her out, it doesn't change the story.
Tom, the fact that every guy in the theater, whether they were a man or boy, was drooling and had a half a stiffy. I'm telling you, on a cartoon.
Again,
don't tell me you did.
Again,
you did.
whether
I
or
know
not
you did.
Whether or not you're sexually attracted to a cartoon is completely different. Isn't
but that makes her consequential.
It doesn't make you consequential. Just because you get a boner watching the movie doesn't make her consequential. Just because you wish it was an X-rated theater when you went to the movie theater and you saw her doesn't make her consequential. It just means that she's good to look at.
But Herb is right here. She was a huge part of the plot, and she was. She was a huge part of the plot.
But she wasn't the whole part of the movie.
Half of the reason that this was happening is because she played patty cake. You know what I'm saying?
But
so
she
was a big part of it.
But she's not the entire plot of the movie.
Herb.
But she's not. But she's not the entire plot of the movie.
But she's more consequential. People know who she. If people know who she is, that means she's more consequential.
People know who Doug is.
Not the topic of cartoon or live action. Yeah, that's
people
true.
know who Doug is.
Yes.
And Doug is the whole plot of The Hangover.
They do not know who Doug is.
Doug is the whole plot of The Hangover.
I can go out on the street and ask 20 different people, do you know who Jessica Rabbit is? And all 20 will be like, yes. If we go to, no, your girlfriend's opinion does not count.
Her totally unbiased opinion, important to pop culture, but doesn't make her consequential. If you took her out of the movie would still be the same. Thank you.
Hold
the
on a
movie
minute.
is still the same if you take Jessica Rabbit out of it.
You cannot team up on me with your girlfriend. That's not fair.
It's a totally unbiased opinion.
That's bull crap. It is not. It is.
Well, then you didn't watch the movie.
She didn't even watch the movie.
Herb says, I didn't know who Doug was till you brought it up today. You didn't watch The Hangover then, Herb. Then you didn't watch the movie.
No, but seriously, I can ask 10 people who Jessica Rabbit is, and they will all think that she was important to the movie. Now, and in all fairness, and if you ask 10 people who Doug Billings is, they're going to be like, who?
Well, you'd have to probably say who Doug from The Hangover
But that's
is.
the point. Doug Billings. It's like Diego. You know what I'm saying?
It's nothing like Diego.
Diego had a whole show. It was the name. Hold on. Here, this is even better. Diego, the show was named Go Diego Go. And he was deemed inconsequential.
Yeah, but he was
because nobody cares. It's the same concept with Doug.
But he just bit off a Dora without consequential to the consequential to the movie. Taking Doug out of The Hangover you don't have a movie. You just don't have a. If I took Dora out of Dora the Explorer, is it Dora the Explorer anymore? No, because Dora's out of it, and they have no reason to go exploring. If I took the map out of Dora the Explorer, are they going exploring anymore? No, she ain't got a map. She's getting lost.
Maybe you never know.
She might
have a compass.
Like without Doug, there's no Hangover. The movie doesn't exist.
Hold on, but again, it could have been anybody.
And if my aunt had a dick, she'd be my uncle.
No. What I'm saying is what's his face? Was the drug guy? Oh, Galifianakis played.
Zach Galifianakis.
Okay, but what?
Alan.
If Alan was a specific character, you cared about Alan as a character. Alan as a character, if he was a different person, would have been catastrophic to the story. If it was played by a different person or if it was a different person, it would have been catastrophic to the story, hence him being consequential.
But if you took
Doug, I don't even know the actor's name. But he's the one person in the entire cast nobody cares about.
If you took Doug out of the movie, there is no movie because none of them meet up. There's no reason for them to be in There's no reason for them to be in Vegas. Like that's what I don't understand. That just blows my mind.
The comments are heating.
Yeah, it's not Doug's hangover time. Yeah, well I know it's not Doug's hangover, but you know what it is? The whole movie is them trying to remember this hangover because they're trying to find Doug. That's the whole point of the movie. The movie is crafted because they get messed up, lose their friend, and have to go find said friend. Without the friend to find, there's no movie. The movie doesn't exist. That's what I don't understand. Like, I get it. Everybody lied to friggin' feed the geese to Jessica Rabbit. I get it. She's really hot. Probably had a poster on your wall somewhere. Doesn't make her important. Does not make her important whatsoever.
All right, I'm gonna do this. Because we're coming close to the end of the show. I will concede and let Doug be consequential.
Yeah.
If you agree that Jessica Rabbit wins overall.
But what does that mean?
Meaning that she is more consequential than Doug.
I think in the overarching of pop culture, Jessica Rabbit is more consequential than
the entire cast.
Than the entire cast of Hangover.
Yeah.
Because I think if you showed anybody Jessica Rabbit, they're gonna recognize her more than anybody else from that movie.
Absolutely.
But if we're comparing the two movies,
yes,
because that's what you kind of have to do, because it's kind of unfair. Jessica Rabbit's been around pop culture and been in the limelight for a lot longer than anybody from The Hangover's been.
Okay, but I understand that, but when you're talking about The Hangover, you've got
that's one
powerful
thing.
people playing. I don't even know who played the role of Jessica Rabbit. I know the character, and I know the people that played the roles of all the characters except Doug in The Hangover, and they're all very well known. So,
Doug's pretty well known.
So at the end of the day, all these characters, all the people that played them are all important in pop culture history. You know what I'm saying?
But I think what I mean is like when we're talking about these characters, especially when we're talking about Doug, like I can't talk about Doug in anything else other than The Hangover. Like Jessica Rabbit's been involved in pop culture and other things other than Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
No, because she's been put there.
But that's what I'm saying.
Because she was important enough to put there.
But that's what I'm saying. Like Doug is only important to The Hangover. Like to The Hangover itself, to The Hangover the movie itself.
I don't think
Doug
he's
is only important.
I don't even think he's important to that.
Again,
I
take Doug out of the movie. There's no movie.
I understand where you're coming. Listen, it's kind of like the whole Batman.
You don't have 2 and 3 without Hangover 1. Because I'll give you, Doug's not consequential to the other 2 Hangover movies.
I don't even think he was in the other 2.
I don't think he was either.
I mean, because he was that inconsequential, they didn't need him.
He
was a throwaway character just to get the main characters together. Ha ha!
But you don't.
Thank you.
But you can't get the main characters together without him.
But that doesn't mean that he's consequential.
Yes,
it just
does.
means that
if you take him out, if you take his character out,
he's the reason that they all got together.
Thank
Yay!
you. Yes.
Okay.
He's the reason they all got together, and is the whole sole purpose of the entire movie. Without Doug, there's no movie.
Oh, come on, man. Seriously?
Yes.
So you're saying that, like, what do you call it? Somebody is consequential just because they got the people together?
Yeah, because if the people don't get together, there's no movie.
Okay, so the guy who ran CSB was consequential to GHR because that's how we connected?
If I didn't go to CSB, then yeah, I mean he's pretty consequential.
CSB is not him.
What do you mean? Without him, there is no CSB.
No, that's not true.
Without him, there actually
Well,
isn't a CSB. There isn't a CSB currently because of him. But
you see what I'm saying is he just works there. CSB is there. It could have been anything.
Doug. Well, I would consider Doug. I would consider Doug would be the CSB of the situation because Doug is the person that got them all together.
The wedding is the CSB. The wedding is the CSB,
and it's
so
Doug's wedding.
But it was also Zach Galifianakis' Alan's sister's wedding,
and the only
so
reason
she would have still met his friends there.
But it's Doug's friends.
I understand, but she's more consequential because that's the only reason why Alan got there, and Alan is the most consequential because Alan is the one who drugged them all.
But we're not debating who's more consequential in The Hangover because if we're doing
no, I understand that, but what I'm saying is
we're debating if Doug is important.
He's the only one that's not because again it would have been the same thing if he wasn't marrying the woman. Then the woman's just as consequential as he is, and she's not consequential.
And
I can argue, I can flip it and argue. Well, the only reason why he's at all consequential, why they're looking for him, is because if they don't get him back to the wife, then they're going to hear it from the wife and the family. So then she's more consequential.
I know, I understand that, but that's the whole point of the movie. The whole point of the Hangover movie is to get their friend back for the wedding because they lost him while they were all messed up.
That's the
whole point.
I will concede to him being consequential if and only if Jessica Rabbit, is considered more consequential than he is. You have to. You got to pick one or the other.
But more consequential in what sense? Because she's not more consequential. She's not more consequential in Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
She is because the whole thing in terms of Roger Rabbit as even though
she's
I
not
can
the
say
focal point of the movie.
She's not, but she is the focal point. If it wasn't for her, then the detective wouldn't have been going out looking for him. Okay, and if in Roger thought that she was cheating on him, all right, playing patty cake. So the whole premise of the entire thing there is also Jessica Rabbit because Jessica was the catalyst to have what's his face? I forget his name. Go and find Roger.
Roger, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that's why I'm saying, you know what I mean? That's what I think, that Jessica, in terms of the actual movie, one, had more screen time, two, was a hell of a lot more popular thereafter, and three, she's the catalyst of why it all came together.
Okay.
So if you give me that, then I will give you the other. If that, I think that's fair.
Then they both got to be consequential.
Then they're both consequential.
Yeah.
And again, Jessica, I think that Jessica Rabbit was, I mean, you know, I hate to say she's consequential because she really, you know, isn't, but she is. You know what I'm saying?
She look, the reason is also like I said, she's big in pop culture because she transcends Who Framed Roger Rabbit. She's involved in things beyond Who Framed Roger Rabbit. The only thing
I don't know. I don't think she is.
I mean, she's been in other stuff other than the movie itself.
I don't think so.
Really?
I really don't think so. She's been, you know, she's used in a lot of, you know, trivia and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I really don't think that she has. I mean, I could be wrong. Do you see anything?
I'm literally just on Wikipedia right now.
Right.
Yeah. But
but at the end of the day, but you see my point in terms of she was the catalyst.
It just says she's been in like spin-off like short films.
Okay.
For,
short films.
Yeah.
And he's been in 2 other Hangovers, or at least referenced.
Nah, yeah, I think he's only been really referenced.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You know, in terms of Roger Rabbit, like, you know, I haven't seen it in a while. I love the movie, but I haven't seen it in a while. But if I'm unless I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure she's the one that goes and meets with the detective, and she meets with the detective and is pushing him to go and search for Roger, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And help Roger. You need to help him and so forth. If she didn't do that, then they wouldn't have connected, and that was the whole movie.
Yeah.
So it's essentially, you know, which I didn't think about because, again, I was actually going to say, you know, that she was inconsequential also. I was with you on that.
Yeah.
But apparently she kind of is, especially if we're saying Doug's consequential,
Yeah.
she is actually more consequential than we thought.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because thinking about it and going back, you're thinking Roger Rabbit and the main guy, the human, and even, you know, in the car. But she's the reason, you know, and then they're going to rescue her at the end, right?
Yeah,
wasn't she tied up at the end?
I believe she was tied up at the end.
So they were going to rescue her at the end, too. So she was the damsel in distress, you know?
Yeah.
So she was more consequential than we thought.
Yeah.
But
that's what I'm saying. But then I would say that she's about as consequential. Then if you're giving me that argument, then she's consequential in the same way Doug's consequential because she's the reason that they go out to find Roger. So without her, they don't go find Roger. Without Doug, they don't go to Vegas, party it up, and get into all the hijinks that they get into.
I can go with you on that. My only thing there is that she had a lot more screen time. Like a lot.
She
more
did have a lot
time.
more screen. She did have
and
a lot
is
more
more
screen
memorable,
time.
and obviously for reasons. But
yeah, but I'm just
Doug,
you know,
the actor, was in National Treasure the movie, but nobody liked National Treasure the movie either.
The first National Treasure was a great movie.
Which National Treasure is that?
The first one.
He was
the
in
very
that?
first one. Yeah, it's him and Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage.
Yeah,
Freaking
it's a great
Cage.
movie.
Is it? I really never
very
saw
good
it.
movie. Justin Bartha is
that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah. Has he done like anything
It's this
else?
guy.
I don't even know what he's done.
He's definitely done some other stuff.
Listen. He was in a huge film. I mean, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
I just I didn't even remember his name.
Yeah.
You know, if he was in a lineup, I probably wouldn't know who he was.
Yeah. No, he was in National Treasure, The Hangover. He was in The Hangover Part 3. Okay, he was in The Hangover Part 2. He definitely wasn't in The Hangover Part 2 very long.
No. I mean, and if anything, he was referenced, and that was it.
Yeah.
I mean, he really was not in a. Which, if he was really consequential, I think that he would have been in more. He was a child actor. Is that him as a child?
I don't know.
I don't know.
No, I don't know.
Anyway, I think that's about the time we have. I guess so. We're gonna go with they were both consequential in their own way.
Yeah.
I think that in the grand scheme of things, they were not as consequential as other characters we've had on the show.
Yeah.
But I think they both squeak by. By the minimum. I'm gonna give them both by the bare minimum.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yes.
Bare
minimum. Yeah.
But that was a good argument.
Yeah.
I have to tell you, I am very proud of you. That was a very compelling argument, and if I was close to breaking, but you got to understand my argument back.
I understand. No, I very much understand your argument. I'm just coming from a standpoint of, look, I'm instead of recasting a character or changing a character, I'm coming at it from a point of truly inconsequential, meaning if you took this character out of the movie,
what would have happened?
Will the movie still exist?
Right.
If you take Doug out of The Hangover,
right,
the movie doesn't happen.
Well, simply because the only reason why those three characters are together are because
of him.
He put them together.
And the reason that they're trying to remember what happened after this hangover, or because of this hangover, is because their friend is missing.
Right.
That's the whole crux of the movie.
So we're gonna call it a draw on both.
Yeah.
We'll call it a draw on both. It was a very compelling argument. I'm very happy. I'm very proud of you. That was a good episode.
I tried.
I'm very happy. Anyway, guys, that's about all the time we have. What do you call it? As Mr. Greer always says.
Rate, review, subscribe, and follow.
Follow. Oh, we didn't look at any.
No, I didn't look at. I'll come back and we'll recap some comments next week for Truly Inconsequential. But like I said, everybody, you can catch us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch until one of them tells us that we have to pick one of them. We're going to be on all three. Leave some comments if you're watching this on the replay. Leave some comments. Let us know what you think. Timestamps of funny moments for us. Just let us know that you're liking it. Like all the streams, share all the streams, and most importantly, tune in when we go live because that makes it so much fun. The audio version of this should be up shortly after we go off the air. So
yes,
enjoy.
And as always, make sure you hit us up on all the social media at It's Mr. Greer, at The Real Brimstone on Instagram, and we will hopefully be seeing you soon. Catch us GHR 7 p.m. Eastern Standard this Thursday night. We've got the legendary Michael Winslow joining us.
Yes.
And as always, every Wednesday 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Catch us here and join the debate.